Hey, welcome on into another edition of the Score Computer, brought to you by Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football. I'm your host of Smash, Justin Simmons, and right before we go on to this coming week, let's take a look back at what happened on week 9. Well folks, there you have it. For the first time since we've been featuring these videos on LoneStarGridiron.com, the Score Computer going a perfect 6-0 in week 9. Well, that's how week 9 went. Now we're getting ready for week 10, and we've already ran the simulations, but sadly this means that there's only 2 more weeks to go in the regular season. But the great thing is that means that all these games have little implications on the line. We're talking about the race for the district championships, the drive for the playoffs is alive and well for some very special teams out there here in the great state of Texas. So without further ado, let's get looking at those results. We'll start off in 19-5A, where this clash between Magnolia West and Houston Stratford looks to be very intriguing. The Mustangs and the Spartans are both equal, at least when it comes to the records. 7-1 overall, 5-0 in district play. Something has to give in this contest. The computer likes the Spartans 34-22. We move on from 19-5A to 14-5A, where this game between Mansfield Summit and Mansfield Lake Ridge will determine the winner of this district. Now the Jaguars and the Eagles, both 8-0, both 5-0 in district. And again, this is just such a great matchup. But the Eagles, I guess that home field advantage will pay off according to the computer. They're picked to win this contest 49-35. We move up a classification to 21-6A, where the LaPorte Bulldogs will be taking on the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs. Now this one, very interesting because North Shore didn't have a great start to their season. They're 5-3 overall. But ever since district, both teams 4-0, another clash of the unbeatens in district play. The Mustangs favored 33-14. On to 3-6A, where it's been no joke this season that the mojo is back. Odessa Permian has been the top class of this district. However, this matchup is a fight for the playoffs. At San Angelo Central, the Bobcats will go over to Mojo's fiercest rival and take on the Midland Lee Rebels. Now the Rebels have had a tough year, 4-4 overall, 2-1 in district. But hey, San Angelo is right there in 2-1 as well. Both of them trying to make sure that they're on the right spot of the top 4 come the very end of the regular season. The Bobcats, they look like they have the better chance according to the computer, 38-24. Hey, what better way to wrap things up with not only a rivalry game, but a game that will determine the district championship. Out in 2-6A, it's a very fierce battle between the Golden Sandstorm of Amarillo against their fierce rivals. That's right, the Tascosa Rebels. Now Mel Maxfield, the head coach for Amarillo, looking for his 225th win, and this would lead to a district title as well. But do you think the Sandys can pull it off against the Rebels? Let's take a look at what the computer thinks. Well, according to the computer, Coach Mel Maxfield's going to have to wait another week for that 225th all-time coaching win. The computer, although slightly, really likes the Rebels in this matchup. But again, it can go either way. We saw the Lake Travis matchup pretty close to this one when they took on Westlake. The computer had it 31-30, so it wasn't quite sure, but it still got the prediction right. Well, that's going to do it for us when it comes to the Score Computer. Of course, before we leave you, we have a few parting words. Don't forget, folks, if you're looking for a game to listen to on Friday night, you can listen to myself and my buddy Garrett Green on 105.3 Classic FM here in the Austin area, or theclassicfm.com if you're out of area. We have a great matchup for you in 13-6A. Cedar Ridge is traveling to Hendrickson. Now this one, just a fight to stay in the playoffs for Cedar Ridge because it's a packed 13-6A. Hendrickson could possibly wrap up the district title, and folks, they have about 7 D1 prospects on the Hawk squad, so it should be a good one. The Score Computer has this one in favor of Cedar Ridge though, so it could really go either way. We'll find out at 7 o'clock on 105.3. Hey, if you want to see a particular game featured here on the Score Computer, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment on the Facebook page over at Lone Star Gridiron. Or better yet, you can call the voice line, 713-568-6361. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Before I leave you, a very special shout out to my hometown where the Donner Redskins will be taking on the North Don Chiefs. Now, it's a rather new rivalry as Don and North hasn't been around for very long, but the Chiefs did get their very first win in program history, so big thanks to them. And a big thanks to you for tuning in to the Score Computer here on Lone Star Gridiron. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football. I encourage you to take a look around the rest of the website. They have some great interviews, some great podcasts, and of course they got tons and tons of stats. That's where I get most of mine from. Anyways, if you're chasing those Friday night lights, of course be safe. If you're going out on Halloween night, have a lot of fun, be careful. I love Halloween. I'm going to go as my favorite luchador, Blue Demon. And as always, before I leave you, Texas para siempre.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.